At this moment, Poland and NATO are once again on alert. And look, just a moment ago, I was telling you about what happened in Estonia, where 3 Russian planes had entered their airspace. They stayed for 12 minutes, turned off their transponders, had no flight plan, and ignored all communication. Obviously, because of this, they had to launch Italian F-35 jets to closely observe what was happening and intercept these Russian planes. Right now, something else just happened. I just finished the report and the recent live broadcast where we discussed what happened in Estonia. Well, now, they're making me record and go back to the reports again, because I think this is pretty important. Now, 2 Russian fighter jets have been flying at low altitude over the Baltic oil and gas platform. This is in the Baltic Sea, north of Poland. At that point, we're seeing right there. This. According to what it says, Poland has declared that the flight violated the security zone of the platform. It is reported that the planes were about 150 meters high, way too low, at an altitude far too low for a military flight, over critical maritime infrastructure and of another country as well. Polish authorities have said that the Maritime Border Guard has put the armed forces on alert. The security of critical maritime infrastructure is being monitored, even beyond Polish territorial waters. No public details have been released about an interception, and it's unknown if planes were also sent to intercept them, if any kind of damage was done, which I don't think so. Poland describes this as poor behavior. On Russia's part, and according to reports, the Baltic platform is strategic for oil and gas. Any breach in its security zone risks both military incidents and environmental disasters if something goes wrong. Thank you for watching. Low-altitude flight is also problematic, not only because they're entering another country's airspace. Additionally, it compromises platform security and may be seen as a military provocation. This increases the tension between Russia and NATO, especially in the Baltic context. And this could also be related to the comments made by Donald Trump and the Prime Minister, Carmel from the United Kingdom, in which, well, they were harsh critics of what Vladimir Putin has been doing lately in NATO. Trump says Vladimir Putin has greatly disappointed him. There are risks of collision, of navigation errors, and also the possibility of accidental firing if it is considered a threat. Poland could increase patrols and air and maritime surveillance and coordinate its movements with NATO allies. For now, the basic launch model, whether they were operating from Russian airspace or from border areas, has not been publicly confirmed. Russia has not yet disclosed any official explanation for this latest overflight. Besides the alert, it's unclear if an interceptor was dispatched. That's another question we have. It is also not known whether Poland will summon the Russian ambassador to request a formal explanation or if any kind of action will be taken with NATO. But many believe that the next step could be a meeting at the United Nations Security Council, especially because of how this situation has been escalating more and more. There have already been several incidents lately, as you know. The 23 drones that Russia sent into Poland, the drone that spent an hour, a military drone flying for an hour inside Romania, also from Russia. And then it returned. Also, other drones that supposedly tried to enter Poland. Today, 2 jet planes, 2 or 3 Russian jet planes that entered Poland into Polish airspace. Sorry, Estonia. The latest reports are that 3 Russian planes entered an island in Estonia. This is on an island that's located here. Look, this island. And they were flying over its area for 12 minutes with their transponders turned off so they wouldn't be detected, apparently. And without responding to messages until they were intercepted. A flight from an Italian jet that's patrolling the area, which was sent there to intercept the Russians and make them go back to their area, let's say. These are escalations, and it's already too much. It's no longer a mistake. It's no longer a coincidence. It's not just something that happens once in a while. This is happening not once a day, but several times a day. What are they looking for there? Challenge NATO for no reason? Do they really want an escalation that could start a war? A war? What? Well, that wouldn't make sense at all. How could they win it? If they haven't been able to handle Ukraine, how could they take on NATO? Obviously. Are they aiming to cause instability? What is the Russian strategy trying to accomplish in these final days? Where is the focus? What's the idea? Why would they want to escalate this at this time? Why has the United States' response been so weak in this whole situation? Europe is worried, nervous, and acting. The United States, always acting like Donald Trump, pretends nothing or almost nothing is happening. Very strange attitudes there too. Meanwhile, what really stands out in this situation is that these Russian planes flying again over a NATO country are putting us at risk of an escalation to a level we haven't seen before. Even countries like Spain have said they're willing to provide fighter jets, even a tanker plane, to NATO's defense against Russian drones. So there are more and more countries saying, look, we have this to offer. You can use it to help defend all of NATO's airspace above all. Where? Well, right now what worries people the most are the Baltic countries. We must remember and understand that Russia also has a modus operandi. When you think the attack or the situation is happening here, it's because something else is going on. So we should ask ourselves, what's really happening? They're making us look this way because they don't want us to see something else. What is it that they don't want us to see right now? Is a major move toward Ukraine coming? Is there an important move coming toward Moldova, for example, or somewhere else? What is the next step that Russia is truly planning at this time? I think if they're telling us to look here, something is happening elsewhere. Where? That's the big question. Where should we be looking? From Russia's point of view. To Russian interests? Where are things happening? We'll have to wait. We'll have to wait to maybe get more details. But between what's happening here and the chaos that's going on right now in the Middle East, with all the tug of war and new blocs forming, which we've already discussed, if you can check it out in the previous video. I've also put our most important breaking news playlist down here so you can stay up to date on international news. This is PPenLive, as you know, always updating you with the most interesting information about what's happening around the world. Thanks to all members in the community for the super chat support. Big shout out. See you in the next report.